I think this is, I think it's for both of you. Do you find that running your AI models locally mitigates some of the security risks found using hosted solutions like ChatGPT and Google Gemini?
So there's a number of ways of hosting. So if you think, ChatGPT or Claude, they are provisioned or hosted by third parties, obviously those companies, but you can have those models hosted in your own tenancy in your private cloud, which has got enterprise data protection, responsible AI. So it's within your own tenancy. Your data is not used to train the models. It doesn't go outside your tenancy. So if you have things like an Azure tenancy, M365 tenancy, currently your data is already in there. So those models can be hosted in those tenancies securely. So that's a really good option to look at. But local hosting means, in a private cloud scenario, obviously that could be costly, and there are options. But the challenge with local hosting is a lot of those models, unless they're open source models, they're not available for local hosting. So option you have is if you want to use things like Claude or OpenAI, most OpenAI models, it has to be a public cloud, but in your own tenancy. So that's kind of restricted that. And if you want to host anything in private hosting or local hosting in your machine, or they have to be open source models.
Interesting. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. From a security point of view, there are benefits, but then you're losing the benefits of the open scale of AI and how it should be learning in that. And again, it's going to be one of those things around, technologies evolve. We've always had on-prem services initially, then we're like, okay, let's let it go to the cloud. AI is going through the same transition where it's the risk appetite. We want to take advantage of these technologies, which is absolutely correct, but we're too scared to let it out in the open world. So that's where we have to be very mindful of what security measures and what guardrails we're putting in place to do that. If someone wants to get into your environment, they'll get in, whether it's on premise, not hosted, or private. So, but if we put the right guardrails in place, if we have the right visibility, it's remiss of us not to actually leverage the open ecosystem to do that. But if it gives businesses comfort to host it initially, to do all their testing and they know what the trade-offs are, that's perfectly fine. Learn from that. But at some point, you're going to have to go out and go, you know what, I need this to be online to get the benefits of AI and to get the learnings from what, the hundreds of thousands and millions of customers are using as well.
And add to that, just let's assume that, you are hosting these models in your public cloud, your own tenancy. But a lot of those models, the latest models, are not available in your region. Especially in New Zealand, a lot of these models are not available. So how do you utilize the latest technology? So there are ways to do it, like you don't send the data out, you only send the processing out. So you have to look at those different kinds of operating models, not just we have to host everything locally. So those models will be disrupted. You need to think about that. Your policies might have to change, as Chris mentioned, but really dig into where is the risk, not just security, what is the risk you're willing to take. The other aspect is, even if you host locally, AI models, they make mistakes. You're still not going to avoid that. So you need that human review process, whether you host it locally or not.
Yeah, and that's something we always talk about, like human in the loop, just to make sure everything, especially at the moment, is managed.